We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, even my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Oh, we shall overcome someday. That's a great song, y'all. That's a goodie. I like that song. When is it coming, though? I've been looking for it for a while. Hey, today we talking about Boaz and the rest of y'all's.
His return is soon to come. Every battle already won. Don't fear nor fret nor be dismayed, but you who endures to the end will be saved.
Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones show. I'm here this evening edition. Baby. How y'all is? Come on in. Water's fine. Good to see you, Jenkins and Carter and Neil and King and Carter and Carter and Tyson and Miley and James and Carter and Carter. There's a whole bunch of Carters here. I think it's the same person. Good to see you, Victoria. Hey, I want to talk about this story about the Boaz and the Ruth and the Naomi and the Jello pudding. Okay? Because it never died. It never died, Dana King. It just don't die. It multiplies. Joe, yeah, you I'm late too. You was uncovering your feet. Yeah. I want to talk about this story because I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it because the ladies love them some Boaz. Oh, they get perclipped. They get a little hot under the collar for the Boaz, that old dude. And I've known some of them in these women's conferences. Boaz's name always come up in the women's conferences, whether it's a singles ministry, even the marriage ministries. The wife is thinking, why can't you be like Boaz? And then a little moisture happens in the room. There's moisture everywhere. The humidity in the room shifts into Boaz land. So what's happened here, unfortunately, is that somebody told y'all that the greatest dating advice in the Bible is the book of Ruth. And I'd like to bust your bubble a little bit here. Actually, one of the greatest dating advices is my book, The 4 Women That Men Desire. Yeah. That's right there. That's one of the greatest dating advices there is. Why? Because I talk about the women in this book here. Okay? I talk about the women in this book. And I talk about Boaz, he in here too, but I also talk about the Shulamite woman. Why y'all don't bring up the Shulamite woman in Solomon? Huh? Is it too salacious for y'all? Huh? Is it too much? Because the breast popped out? Do y'all not like to talk about Solomon, the Song of Solomon story, and his relationship with the Shulamite woman because the breast popped out? Because you know the breast popped out, right? I could prove it in the word if you want me to. Now, every now and then, the Proverbs 31 woman pops up in there, and y'all say, I want to be like the Proverbs 31 woman. But there's nothing in there about dating. That's marriage. Can't bring up David because y'all call him a hoe. Man, we got that problem. So you got to go back. You got to go back to square one. Ruth and Boaz. Johnson said they did. Yeah, the breast popped out. June Hardy, what book you talking about? My book, Amazon.com. Okay, I talk about all the ladies. I talk about the true dating, perfect dating advice. So now, before I get deeper into the story of Ruth and was she seducing the brother? I want to talk about this political person here. I'm glad I'm not the only one out here making the church people mad. Elder Thurston, Pastor. You know, I'm getting this stuff from you. You cause these problems. I look at your Facebook stories and I die. Sometimes I scream. I'll scream or holler. Sometimes I bet you can hear it. I wanna talk about Vernon Jones. I wanted to bring him up because instead of do a separate show on him, I want to kind of bring this up. So I'll bring this up at the end of the show if y'all want me to. I'll bring it up at the end of the show because he made a post about George Floyd and Jesus Christ. Okay. Right. Let me see if I can find it. This post right here. All right. He said something to the fact of, I wish people would recognize the death of Jesus Christ as much as they would do George Floyd. He said, that's all I have to say. Okay. Now, I saw that. And I said, uh-oh. I didn't even read the comments. I said, oh, that cut hard. That cut real hard in my backside. I said, okay, let me get some tea and crumpets, and then let me just peruse across the comment section. All right. I'm bringing this up because this is the anniversary of George Floyd's death. So I have to bring this up. So let me peruse across and the first comment or the second comment I saw, I realized that from that comment on was going to be the wholeness of all the comments. The wholeness of all the comments was going to start there. And so right here, I went down and I saw one brother said, okay, facts. Okay. He must be a big fan. And then it's what Francis Johnson said. Okay. Vernon, come on. You know better. Stop standing in front of people's church with this food. When he said that, I said, uh-oh, here it goes. So they started bringing up the church. So I looked again, and I realized, oh, he's standing in front of Mr. Ebenezer, Mr. Martin Luther King Church. I said, why they don't like Vernon? I don't understand why they don't like the brother. He's a brother. How could brothers and sisters be against Vernon? And then I kept scrolling up, and then I saw this. Dome. That's what I saw. I said, oh, that's why they don't like him. And 8.5 thousand shares. That's a lot. That's a lot of hatred. So can I make some quick commentary on that? Huh? Can I please? Joanne, good to see you. All right. My commentary on that is simple. It is simple. And I'll get to Boaz in a minute because I know you ladies are just, the moisture is in the room. Okay? I like to say to you guys that the world loves its own. You have to understand. The world loves its own. When the world, I'm talking to you preachers right now. I don't care what your denomination is. Y'all know this is Sirwalterj Jones show. I don't pander to nobody. My friends, although they are my friends, they don't always like what I say. Okay? The world do and say and play out stuff. That's what the world does. You understand? That's what the world do. When somebody scream Black Lives Matter for the first time, it caused a ripple within the white community. They got upset with that term, Black Lives Matter. Before any of you already knew what it was, you're like, yeah, I like that. Black Lives Matter, okay? When that happened, white folks and politicians start saying, all lives matter. And it peed off black folks. Peed them off. Okay, why? Because, well, it's obvious because. It's because of two reasons. There is a fear in the white community. If they are afraid, you have to understand that. And they've been afraid for generations. Okay. Saying Black Lives Matter, the ones that y'all voted for in the Democratic Party today, who you love today, was the same ones who was saying, no, all lives matter. And they saw that the backlash, the pool and the army of black folks going against them saying all lives matter, it caused them to turn and say, okay, we want our constituents to vote for us, so let's go with the Black Lives Matter thing until things calm down. So they start saying, oh, yeah, okay, Black lives do matter. Because I remember when Biden says all lives matter. All right? So saying I'm saying all lives matter in the front of a lot of people who are saying Black Lives Matter is the same as saying fire in a crowded theater. Same thing. Just because you can say something, even if it's true, don't mean you should say it. You know how many things that Jesus could have said, even though it was true? But he did not, because it would have caused problems. When he went around healing people, he would tell them, don't tell nobody what I did. Even though they went and did it anyway. Why did he tell them not to say anything? Can anybody put that in the comments? Why would Jesus tell them, don't tell the people that I healed you? So when white folks heard Black Lives Matter, they only heard Black Lives Matter only. That's all they heard. Even though all lives matter. But why would I walk into a crowded room of black lives and say, nah, it's the wrong place, bruh. Even though it's true, it's the wrong place. Okay? When you are a man of influence, you can't just say anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you are a man or woman of influence, that doesn't give you the right to say whatever you want to say. Perfect example, Malcolm X. The Muslim community, especially back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, Chicago location, New York location, you know, they were considered anti-white. They called the white folks devils, okay? Very pro-black, you know, blah, blah, blah. We know their history. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was shot, killed, murdered in Beatrice's backyard. 63? Malcolm X, being such a highly influential man, spoke against the nation by mocking the death and assassination of John F. Kennedy. What happened next? His leader had to silence him. Why? Because he says, you are a man of influence. You can't say these things to the white man's president. You just can't do it. and he silenced him. He did the right thing. And I supported, even though I wasn't around then. I hadn't discovered America at the time. Because he did not want to hasten his death. Jesus Christ, that's it. That's exactly it. He didn't want the attention, yes. But he didn't want the attention because he did not want to get to the cross too soon, or you and I would not be saved today if they had killed him too soon. 10 miles from you. See, I told y'all it was in her backyard. All sheep lives matter, but the good shepherd will deny. Come, oh, that's good. Joe Hill, you know that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there, bruh. I like that it did that. All right. So just because you can say something, don't mean you should. So what happens? We've come across too self-righteous at times. This is the time to observe the death of George Floyd. So what you just did, Mr. Vernon, is say fire in a crowded theater. Why today? Why today? Because I would wish that the people would recognize Jesus Christ more than anybody. I want that. But my beginning statement was the world love its own. So how you gonna win folks? By peeing folks off. The adulterous woman was brought to Jesus, and she was worthy of death. Why? Because it was in the law. And everybody had to abide by the law. When they brought her to Jesus, Jesus decided not to enforce the law. Why? He would have missed an opportunity for her and those who are around her and we who are alive today. Do you understand? They broke the law by bringing the woman to Jesus. Where in the law was it that they were supposed to bring a woman for Jesus to analyze? He didn't have that authority. Number 2, they brought the woman, but guess who they forgot to bring? There's a list of things that they broke. Okay? So he had to analyze the situation. Knowing the law, he decided to forgive her because he needed to do something. He did not want to go with the crowd. You understand? So the brother Vernon, listen, run, not for office, which I know you're running for. Run for your dear life. Yeah, he's a politician, not a preacher. He was speaking to his constituents. All right. He was standing in front of a church. So what does that say? The message that he was bringing. What was the message he was bringing? He was bootlegging. Come on, Joan. They forgot to bring the man. So Jesus had to handle all that stuff at the same time. What kind of stress is that for Jesus to have to go through that? Yeah, he was staging. Missed the point as usual. Ain't nobody shouting out about the death of Jesus. We're shouting out about his resurrection. Floyd was a natural calamity. Yeah, was garnered. Yeah, so he decided to put these two messages in there today. But really, all of it is geared around association. Who is Vernon associated with? So, like Pitt said, I think the actress said it in a message. We're waiting. She said, I'm waiting on a Bible photo op in front of a church. And so the comments then made sense to me why they were going off on Vernon for standing in front of the most recognized church sign in world history outside of the What is the church that almost burned down? In, is it France? A few years ago. Yeah. The most recognizable church sign in the world. All right. I want to bring up Jesus. His genealogy. Can we do that right quick? So that we can find a way to piece this whole Boaz thing. Is it Notre Dame? Notre Dame? Yeah, there it is, Joan. Thank you. They left a cat daddy at home, and the woman's life was of no importance. She was, yeah, that's it. Okay. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Now, okay. So what we're going to see here is, what are we going to see here? I don't know. Okay, I thought I fixed this. Okay, what are we going to see here? We're going to see the whole thing with Abraham. Okay, so you got Abraham, and then you've got Abraham's family, and we put them over here. But with Abraham's family, his brother had Lot, and then Lot had these daughters. Okay, now Lot had the daughters. Okay, the daughters laid with him, and then they gave birth to two types of people. All right, now. God made Abram, he became a Jew. Okay. Made him a Jew. Now the Chaldeans come from this family here. And Abraham had Isaac, okay. And of course then had Jacob and Esau, okay. So we've got a lineage of Esau. We've got a lineage of Jacob. All right. So what's happening here? You've got a split here. Let's get a bigger one here. You got this split right here. You got this big split here. Okay. On this side is the Jew side. This side is the Jew side. Okay. And this side is the pagan side, or the Gentile side. Okay. And this is the story we're getting ready to see. Okay. The two daughters, one had the Moabite, there's an A in there, and then one had, I think it was the Ammonite. All right. I did that study already. Okay. Well, Moabite, Lot, Abraham. Okay, very important. Abraham, nephew Lot, Moabite. That's where we get Ruth. Okay, somehow, some way, Ruth crossed over into the Jewish community through what? Marriage. All right, how? Well, she was married at first. He died, and then we get Boaz. But they were not. The law. There was a Mosaic law that causes a problem between the marriage of Ruth and Boaz. Actually, should not have happened because of the Mosaic law. Okay, and let's see if we can make sense of that. In the scriptures, okay, because it's kind of important. I figured I'd just draw that up right fast for y'all. Abram was not a Jew. God is sovereign. He made him a Jew. He was from John, you be studying. Okay. Yes, lineage is important, right? All right. So when we go to the lineage of her in Matthew chapter 1, we see that Abraham was the father of Isaac. Isaac was the father of Jacob. Jacob was the father of Judah and his brothers. Now, notice how this thing does this. How Matthew pieces out the genealogy. Okay. In fact, let me give you the screenshot of what I'm looking at here. Notice what it says here. Jacob, I'm going to make it big for you. Jacob was the father of Judah and his brothers. That was very important. Okay. Judah, now notice Lot disappears. Lot disappears. Because Abraham didn't give birth to Lot. Okay, that was the nephew. But when you look in the genealogy, you see as it go down to Judah. Judah was the father of Perez and Terah because of this Tamar. Y'all know this incestual situation with Judah. Nasty man. Okay. And then Perez and Hezron and Ram, Abinadab. Let's see. Salmon was the father of Boaz. So Boaz pops up. They put Rahab in here. Why? Well, why aren't why would you put her name there? It just doesn't seem to fit, but it does. Very important. They had to put it there because Rahab plays a big, important part in the genealogy of Jesus. Somebody on Facebook was like, with Jesus, you trying to tell me Jesus' lineage started in a seduction and incestual situation, or whatever he said. I said, bruh, did you forget about Rahab? Did you forget about Judah with his nasty self? All kind of, and David? Come on, bruh. Come on. So you see Boaz pop up here. All right. So through my writing here, even though Abraham and Lot separated and they divided, God says, leave your kinfolks. Okay. Leave. Don't separate from them and go, and I'll show you a place. But then the Bible says, but Abraham took Lot with him and they started to travel. Well, their goods got too much. They got too wealthy, the both of them individually. And Abraham was like, I got too much. You got too much. And this land ain't big enough for the both of us. We got to separate. And so Lot decided to pitch his tent over into Sodom, the Gomorrah area. And Abraham kept going that way. Then as they separated, then God spoke to Abraham as if to say, I thought that boy would never leave. I told you to leave and not take your relatives with you, but you brought Lot. Now, some of my preacher friends would say, well, it was God's permissive will to take Lot. Well, obviously it was. But why did he need to take Lot? Did he really need to take Lot? Okay. And so him taking Lot, God is a God of order, and names mean a lot to God. That's why he changed people's names. And the name Lot means veil. So as long as Lot was with Abraham, there was a veil there between Abraham and God just didn't talk to Abraham as long as Lot was with him. It wasn't until Abraham and Lot separated, then God then finally spoke. And he began to tell him about how he was going to bless his seed. Y'all understand where I am, all right? So Lot goes away, and God deals with Lot over in Sodom and what have you. Abraham goes this other way here, and those two people, Abraham's brother and nephew, they go that way and deal with stuff, and Abraham and the Jewish people go this way and deal with stuff, and before you know it, they're going to come together, okay? As a matter of fact, I think I downloaded, I think I did. I downloaded a chart that brings out the family here. All right. Here's Abraham and here's Terah. Okay. It starts with this brother right here. Terah. All right. That's the father who gave, of course, birth to Abraham. And on the left side, Terah's other Sharon is Nahor and Haran, and Haran is the one who gave us Lot. All right, you see that, and then you see the two daughters. One gave us the Moabite, and the other one gave us the Ammonite. I forgot I even had this. Okay, and that's how we get Ruth. She was the daughter. She was the daughter of the first daughter. Okay, the Moabite, and then you'll see how this family comes together. It's really a crazy map, but it helps us understand how God was dealing with his family. Let's see. Freezing. Well, I'm not freezing on my end. I'm looking at me on the monitor. I'm hoping it's just you. I'm hoping. Jesus was the poster child for the dysfunctional family. Yes, absolutely. It was to let people know that Jesus was human just like us. He identified with his creation in every aspect except personal sinning. All right. Maybe Lot wanted to get out of Uz too. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Hips, you here? Isn't Jesus' bloodline mixed with Jew and also Gentile? Yes. Everybody's blood mixed with Gentile. Abraham started off the Jewish people, but his father was a Gentile. And we don't have to go with Abraham. We go all the way back to Adam. Adam was a Gentile. Or Jesus would not have died on the cross and they consider him the second what? Or the last what? They didn't say the last Abraham. You understand? They didn't say the last Jacob. What did they call Jesus on the cross? They removed that whole Jewish thing and gave him whose name? Thank you, Carter. They say he's the last or the second Adam. Why? Why was he called the second Adam? Can anybody put that there? Why wasn't he called a Jewish name? Why wasn't he called the second Elijah? Very important. Very important. All right. So we see this lineage here. Boaz come up, the father of Obed, and we see. Okay. Now, so what is the story of Ruth and Boaz? Well, let's read the story and see if we could make sense of it. First of all, let me expound on the story. Let me go to your comments here and make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes, Joanne. Joanne, you've been cutting up all day, y'all. For those of you who are not my Facebook friends, you'd be missing out on some of the wildest, most craziest commentary in American history on my Facebook wall. And Joanne won the prize. Okay, the book of Ruth largely focuses on the relationship between Ruth and Boaz. We know that. Ruth, being a Moabite woman, had come to Israel as the widow of an Israelite man. Now, she had returned with her mother-in-law, Naomi, who had also lost her husband, remember. So they lived together in a humble situation, and Ruth would go to the fields each day to glean food in the fields during the harvest. Now, they lost their husbands, so you know it was very dangerous for a woman in that type of territory, that cultural situation, to live because of rape and famine, hunger, all kind of stuff. You really need someone to cover you as a woman. You need a man to cover you. Y'all understand? Now remember that phrase, cover you, because that's where all of the mess started on the wall. Boaz was a landowner where Ruth came to find grain. And he knew of her situation and told his workers to leave plenty of grain for her to find. And Boaz also offered her food with the other workers and encouraged her to work in the safety of the fields. All right. Now, Naomi noted that Boaz was a close relative who, according to Jewish law, had the right to marry Ruth after the death of her husband. Now, y'all remember what happened to Onan. God killed Onan for not agreeing to this law set up. All right. Now, this Judas family was jacked up. God killed the first boy, and then his wife was left, and then the second boy decided he didn't want to marry him. He didn't want to spill his seed he didn't want to spill his seed in her. So he pulled out and spilled his seed on the ground. And so God had to kill him. not for pulling out. How do I say this? Because Joe Hill is here. Joe Hill is here. God didn't kill a man for. There's a really crazy, stupid theology of masturbation. It's the oldest trick in the book to get the boys to stop masturbating by sicking God on them and tell them that God's going to kill you for having a jerky moment. Okay. What's been going on with me this week, huh? Anybody know? Yeah. Being the master of your domain. Okay. You sure do debate a lot. You sure do debate a lot. You're the master of all debates. Okay. So the mothers was given that story, and matter of fact, they coined the phrase onanizing. To onanize yourself is shake a man's right hand. I don't know. He could be left-handed. I'm not sure. Hey, I can't judge you. And this calluses. Why is one hand stronger than the other? Why? Brother Johnson, why is one hand stronger than the other? Huh? You've been onanizing. God killed the man for that. So it's false. God killed the man because he spilled the seed on the ground. As a matter of fact, I believe what is that? Focus. What is that religion denomination? Mormons, I believe it is, believe, and Catholics too believe that you don't pull out and spill your seed because that is against the rule. That's a type of birth control in a sense. Okay. Yeah, you're going to go blind. Yeah. If that was the case, and people have made a whole religion, about pulling out according to that scripture. Yeah, I told y'all. Yeah, the Mormons, I believe, and they're not the only ones. Left knows not what the right is doing. This ain't Monday, is it? Please tell me this ain't Monday, because it's starting all over again. I guess his pullout game was so I can't read no more comments. Naomi noted that Boaz was a close relative. All right. So according to Jewish law, had the right to marry Ruth after the death. Naomi encouraged Ruth to go to Boaz in the evening and present herself willing to accept a marriage proposal from him. And that's where it all started. Right there. The great seduction. So we're going to have to read the story, y'all, in the Bible to make sure it fits. Oh, did I say that? Boaz saw Ruth bending over, picking up a grain, and, I can't. God's watchers asked the question, is masturbation truly a sin? Hey, brothers, since y'all are so vocal, because you're usually not vocal on my shows. Deborah said, this is X-rated. God's watchers asking the question about masturbation. She asks, is this a sin, truly a sin? Can somebody put it in the comment section? Is it truly a sin? And Charlie Mann said, what in the world? Yeah, but the Catholics were always trying to tell couples what to do in the bedroom and how to yeah, exactly. Risha, you started this, Risha. All right, somebody answer God is watching's question about masturbation, because I want to know. I want to know what y'all think. Is it truly a sin? That's one of the top conversations about the particular sins in church. Masturbation. Yeah, you hear a distinct ripping sound. He talking about my license, y'all. I guess you should have done the Schoenberg. Elder Jerome, you got to help me with this. Now, if you're going to say yes, that it is a sin, speaking to you, Deborah, you got to tell me why it is a sin. All right. Joanne says we are called to self-control. All right. Can somebody give me a better answer? Well, who was the woman that God killed because she used a weapon to castrate him? Well, we going left field, y'all. If two men are fighting and the wife of one man decides to grab the other guy by the balls, I'm sorry, the testicles, the Bible says that she should be put to death. Man, this is difficult for me. Deborah says self-pleasure. All right, at least she giving some answers. Y'all ain't giving no answers. God watch. Sorry, I asked the question. Get back on the topic. I mean, because I'm gonna read y'all's comments. I have to. It's in my contract. I must read your comments. Because y'all be blessing me with the Cash App, so I got to read it. Say whatever y'all want to say tonight. I ain't pulling those songs up. And we ain't using no. Right. All right. So I want to know. It's getting hot on the line. All right. So here we go. Hips. One day Naomi said to Ruth, my daughter, it's time that I found a permanent home for you, so that you will be provided for. Now, Boaz is a close relative of yours, and he's been very kind by letting you gather grain with his young women. He's been good to you. Tonight he will be winnowing barley at the threshing floor. All right, we got to read this slowly, y'all. Because here's where the problem comes in. Is it because life is in the blood? Man's blood carries the blood in the sperm. Elder. Ooh, I want to touch it. I want to touch this subject so. You notice I had to rephrase it. I want to touch this subject so bad. Michelle, you must have came late. We just talked about that owning situation. Black and light-skinned doctors say that masturbation is mental health and development. It's good for mental health and development. I've heard that a long time. Yes, it's a sin. It's a sin of lust, because all sin is done without the body. Lust is formed in the mind and acted out by your hand in the dark. Battle says men would become lovers of themselves. You know, it's two ways to put that. And maybe your intent was both ways. Was this one of them double entendres? Because if it was, that was brilliant. So brilliant. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the story. Thanks to God is watching. Boaz is a close relative. So tonight he will be winnowing. Verse 3 of chapter 3. Now do as I tell you. All right. I'm going to pause at certain words that Naomi says, because it's important that you see Naomi's intent opposed to what Ruth agrees to. You understand? Do y'all feel me? Naomi did the setup for that threshing floor situation. Yeah. She says, do as I tell you to do. Take a bath. No problem. Taking a bath is not an introduction to seduction. Everybody should take a bath, no matter what you're going to do for the day. Even if you work as a construction worker, or you are a carpenter, you are a plumber, getting ready to go into somebody's toilet, you still should wake up and take a bath. You understand? So far, I don't see no problem here. I don't see no seduction here. Self-gratification causes a release, can cause much problems later, especially if God sends a mate later. Now, what Margaret Johnson says is absolutely correct. Correct. Masturbation has caused problems in marriages sexually. It has caused problems in marriage. And masturbation brings about other things, other desires. It's like a person who smokes a certain type of thingy, then it's not enough for him, so he decides to take something more stronger and more stronger. A person who drinks something soft will want to drink something more stronger. So a person who masturbates wants something more stronger, more intense, more working towards their euphoria and their dopamines and all this stuff. So what he does is he wants a visual. All right, that's why men are more visual than women are. All right, and so we want something in our face. And what happens? Pornography pops up. All right. That's good, Joan. It's the progressive sin. Pornography, or bringing in another female or another man into the situation, or you go into these orgies, or some men, because of the sin, causes another thing to happen, whether they get taken over by wanting to molest their own children and rape a neighbor or what have you. Okay, so masturbation can cause other things to jump off. And so then this man is married, and so when he's continually masturbating, the penis then sizes itself to the hand. Is this too deep for some of you? Some of y'all too. Tell Mother Johnson she got to go to bed right now. She got to go to bed right now. The penis sizes itself to the hand, and it responds now only to the hand and not the wife's vagina. I'm using as many medical terms as possible. Vajayjay, is that better for some of you? Understand? And so then the man cannot ejaculate except it's in his hand. So what he's doing is he is taking the pleasure, the due benevolence of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. He's taking that doctrine from his wife and giving it to. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Now, again, that was brilliant. Because can't nobody touch you like you, for example. Yeah, you can have sex with your spouse, not be satisfied, and still want to Yep. You rather make love to yourself. Come on, hips, man. If you don't preach this thing right now. Yes, it has. Masturbation is like the guilty pleasure of chocolate or liquor. Too much. Yes, come on, y'all. And that part of why I'm trying to get my body in order, in shape for my husband. Oh, because men are what? Joyce, I've been waiting to meet this man. I seen the pictures on Facebook, but I can't wait to meet the man. That man is blessed. He's a blessed man. Yes. Yeah. Go to bed. Yeah. Michelle, Mother Johnson, please hide your. I'm trying to tell y'all. So y'all come to the Sirwalterj Jones show for the truth, right? All right. Your pastor don't talk about this. He can't talk about this now on Sunday morning because you got to make sardines. Maybe not on Bible study either. So when is the mother and the pastor or the deacon or somebody, when do y'all talk about this stuff? It needs to be discussed because you have lost your husband to his hand. You're like, you're cheating on me. I'm never cheating on you. I don't do that. I don't believe in cheating on me. Raise your right hand. There she is. Lust is at the forefront of it all. Yeah, it is. So Amber was right. Her definition was absolutely right, and the rest of y'all are right too. Thanks, God's watching. Okay? All right. Now do what I say, she says. Take a bath. Put on perfume. Okay. That one right there is a little shaky. All right. I don't really care to always wear cologne. I just don't. I don't wear a lot of cologne. I just don't. When I was a little boy, I wore cologne. You went down there and bought a bottle of cologne this big for about $5, and you thought you were doing something. Wait a minute, that little bottle costs $30, but this big bottle costs $5. Y'all crazy. I get more value with this big bottle. Okay. And you pour it all, you take a bath in it, and then you go to church and you smell like a State Street sissy. you smell so horrible. It just, the whole room like, oh, bruh, did you bathe in Brute by Fabulous J? Okay. So putting on perfume in those days is different than these days. Okay, right, toilet water. All right. She said, put on a perfume. Wait a minute. Here's where the seduction starts, because it ain't daylight, y'all. It ain't in the middle of the day. She told this woman to take a bath at night, put on perfume at night. Mm-hmm. don't be knocking the cologne game. Okay? At late night. This ain't after 5, y'all. This ain't, no. This is and at midnight. Yeah. Okay? So, take a bath, put on perfume, and dress in your nicest clothes. This sounds like a hot date to me. Then go to the threshing floor, but don't let Boaz see you until he has finished eating and drinking. Oh, take a bath. Perfume. Your nicest, hottest clothes. Wait till the brother has drank it. Okay, be sure to notice where he lied. Wait a minute. Come on, y'all. Y'all telling me this ain't seduction? Wait a minute. Hold up. Why couldn't I just take a shower, put on cologne, no problem, put on a decent dress, and go to him during the daytime before he get all drunk, where his mind is all discombobulated? I want to talk to him face to face, where he can recognize me when he's sober. Why can't I do that and talk to him? She didn't trust that. Hello. They would literally soak in it, and then they would. Yeah, predetermined period of time. Come on, Charlie Marlin. Yes. What do you know about State Street? Shoot, man, I put on some cologne and went and hung out on State Street, right next to that State Street preacher. He's still down there. Y'all know he Kojic, right? He come to all the Kojic conventions. Lower his come on, the little B. Yes. Victoria's Secret. Boy, well, Ruth is about to bring a secret. And the secret was, don't tell Boaz. Be sure to notice where he lie down, then go and uncover his feet. Now, this is in here twice, but you're going to have to read it 2 different ways. The problem with reading King James is not understanding the Jewish culture. So I have books here that I study on the culture of the Jews, so that when I do go back to scripture, it then makes sense why Jesus and Paul said something about the rapture. Well, Jesus didn't speak of the rapture, Paul did, but Jesus spoke of the second coming. And they use terminologies and they use wedding scenarios that only the Jews understood. We who are Gentiles don't understand that. But the audience in the Bible understood it because of the culture in whom he was talking to. I go to prepare a place for you. If it wasn't so, I would have told you so. Okay, in my Father's house are many rooms. So King James say mansion, but it's really rooms. Okay. He don't know when he's going to come, but the Father knows, right? So Paul picked it up, and then he talked about showing the mystery. He said, we shall all sleep, we shall be caught up and changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. We who remain will be caught up to meet him in the air. You have to put those two stories together, and it gives you a depiction of a Jewish wedding. Prior to the wedding, the betrothal, Mary and Joseph were betrothed to each other, which was a legal engagement, which is why when she got pregnant, the angel told Joseph not to put her away. Well, he had every right to put her away because they were legally yoked as a betrothal, but the wedding hadn't happened yet. The wedding must happen, and it lasts for 7 whole days. It lasts all week. That's a Jewish wedding. And so the revelator, you got to bring John in here, okay? And he talks about how us being in heaven, right? We're in heaven for 7 years, which represents the 3.5 years of the tribulation, and then the 3.5 years of the great tribulation. All this stuff is tied in if you don't understand the culture. So we're brides to Christ. We're not married to him. So many of us say, I am the bride of Christ. Well, technically not yet. You're betrothed to Jesus Christ. The wedding have not happened yet, and there will be a marriage supper of the what? Everybody know. You understand? All this is geared to a wedding, a Jewish wedding. And so in the Jewish culture, opposed to the American culture, the Western culture, it's about the bride. Here comes the bride, and all these songs is about the bride this and the bride that, and they have to foot the bill because of the bride, and she comes in and everybody's standing and all that stuff. They don't do all that for the groom. Everybody rides for the bride, okay, in our society. But in the Jewish culture, it's about the groom. It's all about the groom. And the groom is coming for us. It's all about Jesus Christ. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Who switched that? The bridegroom cometh. Who switched it? That's right, y'all. The marriage supper of the Lamb. Why do you think these young men are chasing these older women? It's definitely not about their cornbread. Come on, Pitts. Let me tell you. You pastors out there who lost your wives either to death or what have you, okay, and you up in age or what have you, stop going down and getting you some 23-year-old, 25-year-old, 29-year-old, 18-year-old, and these. No. Get you a nice seasoned 60 and above. That's what you want. Bruh. You want you a 60 and above. Yeah, you do. You don't want your daughter's age. You need to get you. You need to get you a Naomi. Naomi know how to put it on. And I'm not just talking sex. Naomi know what a man wants. Ruth was young and like, okay, what I don't know how to do this. My husband is dead. All right. I wasn't trained. I wasn't taught to do this. It's just, he saw me and then he, back in that culture, they just saw you and bam, you were married. It's just, you're mine. And Naomi was like, whoa, sis, daughter, let me tell you how to get a man. Yeah. Yeah, y'all need to get you a 60-year-old. You old pastors out there, your wife gone. Well, God rest her soul. Okay, but I'm gonna need you to stay out of the kids' corner. Stay away from the kids' table. Don't go in the romper room finding your wives. I know you coaching bishops. I'm going to look this way because I don't want y'all looking at me. I know you coaching bishops, when you lose your wives, you like to go back into the kid corner. You like to go to the playground. I'm going to need y'all to stay out of Sesame Street. Coaching bishops, okay? Because I know y'all. I don't know these Presbyterian Baptists. I don't know them. But I know you. I'm gonna need you to stay off of Sesame Street. Okay? Find a street in Vegas somewhere. Okay? Go down there to Rush Street, Chicago, downtown. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go down to 60th and Lane Street. Yeah. Go down that street. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna do good. The wisdom of Naomi. That's how she got. Come on, come on. I'm trying to tell you, you coaching bishops. You better hear me. I just blessed you. I'm gonna leave that alone altogether. What? Pitt's been acting crazy today. You can't use your 21st century Western. Come on, hips. I'll be missing you when you ain't here, man. I'll be missing you, brother, because you full of wisdom. Ain't nobody in the kids' corner but measles, mumps, and chickenpox. Modern day chicken heads. Know nothing about cooking. Keep it. Come on, God is watching. That's why Viagra do big business. I know she said bug, but she meant big. And Cialis, right? Tell Cialis and Viagra and all of the pills that look blue. You may not need that with a 60-year-old, because she gonna go in the kitchen and somehow, some way, she put something together that got the same ingredients that the blue pill got, and she puts that in the greens. Now, you don't need that pill, baby. No, I got something for you. Yeah, stay out the kids' corner. It's a beautiful day. Would you be mine? It's so many ways to say I love you. There's so many ways to say I'm thinking of you. Many ways. Come on, Cody Bishop. You can't be singing that song to your 25-year-old. You can't. The bride has to wait at her home for the groom to stop by the house to signal he's ready. That's it. No diving. No. Come on, Joan. We need to do this. We need to take this on the road, because there's always something in the kitchen. Pitts, you're going to need to go to bed in a minute. You know what time it is, Pitts? It's your bedtime. It makes those old dudes feel young and revisited. Y'all know. But why you have to wake up every day and you turn on the TV, you come home from work and you hear Blues Clues, everybody do Blues Clues, do. You're like, wait a minute, my grandkids home? And you open up the door and that's your wife. Blues Clues. Sunny day, bringing up clouds. Babe, what you do? Is the kids here? Is my grandbabies here? Your wife like, no. I was watching educate. I was trying to educate myself. Baby, she like, babe, the number, the letter for today is L. Oh, really? Yeah. And come on and zoom. You can do that, baby. Yeah, watch. Come on and zoom out. That's good. Now can you go in there and get me something to eat? Yeah. Uber Eats is stopping by in about 10 more minutes. Your dinner will be ready. Uber Eats, yeah, it'll be here in about 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Wendy's had a special. Dora the Explorer. Oh man, this show is over. Good night, everybody. Good night. Blues Clues. She like, baby, my handy dandy notebook All right, here it is right here. Take a bath. Be sure to notice where he lied down. Then go and uncover his feet and lie down there. He will tell you what to do. Ooh wee. That's nasty. Hey now, I still watch that mystery. Yeah. He will tell you what to do. Okay. I will do everything you say, Ruth replied. So she went down to the threshing floor that night and followed the instructions of her mother-in-law. After Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he lay down at the far end of the pile of grain and went to sleep. Ruth came quietly. Ooh. Never mind. Uncovered his feet. Now that's all natural. That's all physical. Ain't nothing spiritual about this part here. She uncovered his feet and laid down. You understand? Ain't nothing spiritual about this. Now there's a fight in King James about certain terms, about seeing his father's nakedness. It's used in the text a couple times to mean two different things, and we get tossed up with this, and there's a fight among scholars. Who was that who saw their fathers naked? Noah. Kids saw the father naked. Who was it? Canaan. Not Canaan, but the other boy, and he knew what his son saw. The other two brothers decided to cover the father up, and they walked backwards. Okay, what have you? It's the Bible says he uncovered his father's nakedness. All right, and so we look at that, and so some of y'all are saying that the son probably had sex with his father. All right. Ham. Thank you guys watching. But he didn't curse Ham. Who did he curse? Who did the father curse? He didn't curse Ham. I have an answer for it, but that's another show. All right. Where was I? 8. Around midnight. Now you telling your daughter to take a bath and put on your sexiest dress and put on some perfume and go to a man's house at midnight. And y'all are teaching this in y'all's church and y'all women's conferences that this is how y'all should be doing this. You gonna come to my house like that? Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his, yes. And then when I told us and went, well, I know what you mean. Yes, the father cursed Canaan, not Ham. Yes. I am your servant Ruth, she replied, spreading. Come on, Pitts. I'm all right. I got a haircut because Pitts is about to go to bed. All right. He was surprised to find a woman lying at his feet. Man. Is this dating advice right here? My father would have never given my sisters this kind of advice. I am your servant Ruth, she replied, spread the corner. Now here is the symbolic statement that she's making here. We have to read this symbolically as much as we do physically. Do you understand? Because she's already up under him. So why does he need to spread anything? She's already up under him. But this is a symbolic gesture. Right, Michelle, that's not something you find every day. If Ruth would have taken as long to seduce Boaz as you are telling this story. You know, the folks always want to get to the money shot. Why y'all always want to get to the money shot? Because the average man who watches porn must have a remote control. All right? Why? I know y'all like, what is he? Why? Why is he doing this to us? I'm trying to educate y'all on how things work. It's not how it all works. This is how it works. Okay? Women don't watch porn with remote controls. Men do because we're visual. A woman puts the porn on, and y'all like, women in porn? Yes. The pornography industry have so many women watching it. It's the women who keep the industry alive. Even though more men watch it, more and more women watch it. So what they created was called soft porn for the women. And they don't use remotes. They hit it once and they put it down and they sit there and watch it for 2 hours. I'm trying to tell y'all been in church too long. So for women to get their Boaz, they got to give up the... Nope, I ain't doing it. Not doing it. Lineage is important. It just had to happen the way. So Obed, yes, he came down through. John, preach. I would not tell my daughter to do that. What reasonable parent would? Because yes, women watch porn. That's right. Skinamax. Yes, between fairy tales, Cinderella, Ruth, and Boaz, women need to grow up. Always looking for that Prince Charming, forgetting about the gleaning, the feel, the perfume, the seduction, and the planning. That's called preparation, meeting, opportunity leading to your destination. Say. I did a show about how a woman should get the attention of a man. Throw the hanky on the ground. Anybody remember that show? I don't remember the name of that show. I know it was a Monday relationship show, but I talked about how women can get the attention of a man. And the problem with many of you women who don't have a man and you're looking for a man and he ain't coming around me, he not blah, 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 is because you don't know how to throw the handkerchief down. Y'all like, I shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't matter. We've seen that in the movies, and Mother Johnson told us not to blah. Mother Johnson's marriage was horrible. I'm gonna have to change the name of Mother Johnson's because I have a Mother Johnson at our church, and she is the greatest woman I know. She's just a great woman. But I like Mother Johnson's name, so I got to keep using it. Throw the handkerchief down in front of him. Get his attention. That's the closest I can tell you to Ruth. You're not in certain places. That's why he can't find you. But Ruth was in the field doing stuff. She was active. She made sure that his eyeballs was on her. Well, I'm not supposed to be doing the chasing. I'm not supposed to. He who finds is a woman find. And he all go with that. You was raised up with King James, and it never said he. It said whoso. King James never said he that finds a wife. Go and read it, y'all. Go find it. Somebody quoted in here. It didn't say he. Whoever find a wife. And in the Jewish culture, it wasn't always the husband that found the wife. It was other people. My mother found my wife. So whoever finds his wife. It's all about the good thing. It ain't so much about the who found it. It's about the wife being the good thing. Drop the soap. Yeah. That's what y'all call it. You remember that show, Pitts? I wish I knew the name of it. I'm gonna have to revisit it. Revisit it. Noema was tired of dragging that thing on. She wasn't like Joe was tired of me dragging this show on. Oh, you found it. The Ruth effect. How a woman gets a man's attention. I told y'all. I knew I did that show. And I called it the Ruth. See? I have to repeat these shows because I got new people coming to the show. I have to repeat this stuff, and I say things a little differently, because I got the older saints who've been with me for a few years say, do I have to hear this again? Well, I'm going to say it differently. Drop the hanky in front of him and let him pick it up. And there goes your conversation. I was asked not long ago, was porn wrong for a married couple to watch? I still have not given them an answer. What do you say about that, Sirwalterj? Let me read this again, because sometimes I've been reading y'all's questions wrong. Was porn wrong for a married couple? Yes. Pornography is wrong, Elder. Why? Well, you've got you've got people who have become progressive. You've got people who've become very progressive. And okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Hold on. Y'all are asking me some stuff here. And their progressiveness has caused them to say, but I'm with my wife. So it's okay for us to do whatever we want to because the bed is undefiled. So I can do whatever I want to in the bed. And that undefiled scripture has messed us up because we think that means exclusivity to do whatever we want to do. See, the actor says, and I had the same shirt on. You know, y'all know when I do my relationship shows, I usually wear the wildest shirts. And of course, today's a relationship show because we're talking about Ruth. So if you're hurting your wife, that's against God. You're supposed to be protecting your wife. So if you're hurting your wife in sex, unless it's a good hurt, you know, there's such thing as a good hurt. But if you're hurting your wife with something she don't want, you should not be doing that. That is against your wife. That is a sin to her. And so when you bringing in pornography in the room, you're bringing in someone else. You're looking at some other person on the screen naked. And Jesus said, if you even think in your mind about the act, you have sinned. So if you're just thinking about it, yet now because we married, we're looking at either single people or married people. We don't know who they are on the screen. We're looking at naked people on the screen. Where's the difference? It's like we're literally bringing in a third person into our marriage. And that's our bedroom, that is. And we have to be careful. So this is why the Holy Spirit supposed to show us truths. What is not written in the scriptures, because smoking a cigarette is not in the scriptures. So people will smoke. Said the Bible never said I can't smoke a cigarette. We like to find loopholes in the word. We're not taught how to drop the hanky and lightly. Johnson. Okay. Men nowadays would walk on it or share. The problem is no one is really teaching the young ladies how to, with a lot of feminine charm, softness. Yes, come on, Michelle, that's good. When two share each other, it's a gift. Repaying good gifts with bad grace invites darkness. David Weaver, that's good, man. Undefiled has I talked about that on mental health. If you're hurting your wife, yes, that's good, Pitts. Love it. In today's culture, dropping the hanky seems to be dressing half naked or twerking like, yeah, that's good, hips. Man, y'all preaching today, huh? This is good. Just like Boaz, he covered her. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Joe Hill. Yeah. So to answer your question, Elder Jerome, it is a sin. It's a sin. There's no way around it. The problem, a lot of times, a lot of these pastors, especially older ones, don't want to address those questions, and that's why the young people are leaving our churches, because we're not addressing the hard questions. We'll say, well, what does the Bible say? Well, the Bible doesn't say anything about many of these questions. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't address it. So I need you to address it. And the pastors or the leaders were like, pray about it. Pray about it. The word says, take no thought. One thing leads to another. Sin gets, yes. There you go. The little foxes that go around, just run around the garden. The little foxes. Them the ones that destroy your crop. It's the termite effect. You can't see the termites. It's in between the walls. It's having a feast on your woodwork. The house looked beautiful outside and inside. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then one day, that house get to creeping. And the wood, as they eat, it rottens. And before you know it, a ceiling fall in, and there it is. Foxes been running around for years and you didn't know it. It's a time stamp. I'm your servant Ruth, she replied. Spread the corner of your covering. The Lord bless you, my daughter, Boaz exclaimed. You are showing even more family loyalty than you did before. Boy, you something else. All right, what does it mean to spread the corner of your garment over someone? The Hebrew term can be translated either way, but the context makes the translation of garment more likely. The same idea is conveyed in Ezekiel 16:8. This is where it comes from. This is how you examine the culture of the people. This is where it comes from. Pitts, if you would get that, would be please. Ezekiel 16:8, one of my favorites, because of the book that I am writing, called the United States of Sodom and Gomorrah, is based out of this particular text. When I asked about a single ministry, the pastor told me singles do whatever they do. Well, that's exactly why the church is yeah, man. If it's not discussed, the door needs to be known to be open. Yeah. I know beautiful, decent women who know how to cook, clean house. Yep. What are you? Yeah, and yet are overlooked. Yeah. Listen, it's called collateral damage, y'all. Jesus said that the poor will be with you always. There's going to always be poor people in your church, in your family, on your job, in your city, in your town, in your neighborhood. Poor people are going to be always around. Even though there's wealth teaching and prosperity teaching and all this savings and all kind of, there's still going to be somebody left out by the wayside. So there are more women. Well, actually, there's not 7 women to 1 man. We all have gone into the scriptures and y'all have decided that that's what it is today. That's not the case. So let's see if I'm a false prophet here. I'm going to go to Google. Okay. I did the study already, so I kind of know. All right, y'all ready for the answer? I'm about to show it to you so that y'all can stop lying to the people about their 7 women to a man, and there's more women on the earth than there are men. It's not. It's almost half and half. Here's my proof here. It's just a simple Google search will give you the answer. Right here, the sex ratio for the entire world population is 101 males to 100 females. When was this taken? In 2020. Y'all understand? That's the stats. All right. So there's collateral damage. Somebody's gonna get left out. Yes, but you have to use don't be so prude, and the piety comes in here. You can be prude without showing so much. You could have piety but not be so prude. Okay, let's put it that way. A woman, per the word, she is more precious than rubies. There she is, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. There it is, y'all. My Vern. I heard you tonight, girl. Your show on giving. Love it. Tuesday night, 7:30. Ain't nothing happening but the word. Christians should know how to be freaky and fulfill sensual. Now, Joe, let me tell you. You are absolutely correct. Let me get back to that, though. Let me get back to that. Because, again, some of y'all too old for this show right now, so you might want to leave. Let me get back to it. Ezekiel 16:8. Thank you for putting it up there, Pitts. Then I passed by, and here's where Ruth, you have to understand, Ruth was being a Moabite. She was used to worshiping Kalam. I forgot the name of that god that they're used to worshiping, the Moabites. And God told them that they were not supposed to be together. It was illegal for a Jew to marry a Moabite. God says, I forbid it. But yet Ruth was married to a Jew. He died, and now she's after Boaz. And God allowed it. I may have to do a second part to this. There's a reason why. So, but the context makes the translation of garment more likely that the same idea is conveyed in Ezekiel 16:8, where Pitt's put down there, where God says metaphorically regarding Israel. So Ruth did something metaphorically, even though she did something physically with the covering. Thank you, Kamash. Yes, that's the God of Kamash. Okay, y'all get it? Thank you. All right. The water's clean tonight. Happy you talking. Yes, sexy. Yes. Amen, Gail. Amen. Cause we gotta talk about this stuff, y'all. Y'all gotta stop. These you older saints gotta stop not talking about this stuff. And then you punish the women for getting pregnant, and then you silence them and tell them they can't sing in the choir, they can't do this, and for 9 months, blah blah blah. But you didn't talk to them. You didn't tell them about this stuff because it was just too. I can't. Metaphorically regarding Israel. Later, I passed by, and when I looked at you and saw that you were old enough for love, I spread the corner of my garment over you and covered your naked body. This is what Ruth is saying. I gave you my solemn oath and entered into a covenant with you, declared the sovereign Lord, and you became mine. The context here notes God's role as a husband for Israel. So what Ruth was doing was asking Boaz to be a husband for her. Cover me. What she did, though, she took the advice from her mother about taking a bath and putting perfume on and putting on her nicest clothes, but that was a seductive advice to give to her. But once she got there, okay, prior to her getting there, she told her, all right, wait till he's drunk. Wait till he has wait till it's midnight. Wait till he's asleep. All the things you would never tell your daughter to do, this is what Naomi was telling her daughter to do. Naomi, so Ruth said, I'm going to do it. No problem. I love you. I want to be with you wherever you want to go. I'm going to be with you. Got to go chapter 1, chapter 2. Our husbands are gone. So if and her Oprah, whatever her sister was, decided to go back to the Moabites. She's like, I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye. Ruth said, I'm going to stay with you, Naomi. Whatever you do, whatever your people are going to do, I'm going to be with you. And God heard that, even though they were worshipers of Chemosh, even though they were Moabites, even though the law says they can't marry the Jews, God heard this girl's cry and her prayer. And she transferred over into the grace of God. You understand? And so out of all of the seductive things that her mother told her to do, once she got over there, then she took on another role of piety. Mm-hmm. She said she didn't go there to have sex with the man because she was upright. Ruth was an upright woman. Did I upset you? Blessed to you, Ellie Banks. Thank you for that. And this got to be taught right in your churches, or you're going to screw up the minds of these women, these young women who keep chasing after Boaz. Because if you're going to chase after Boaz, you chasing after your cousin. They were related. Y'all nasty. The mommy and the daddy for some. Yeah, this is a topic that is ignored, but it is important. Blessing to you. Blessing to you, Joyce. Again, I got to meet that husband. That man is blessed. He's blessed. All right. So please. The idea of matrimony appears in the context of Ruth's story, both in the phrase itself and in the response of Boaz. He answers Ruth's request by stating, "This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You have not run after the younger men." Y'all catch that? Whether rich or poor, Boaz understood that Ruth was asking him to take her as his wife. He blessed her for doing so, thankful she had pursued him rather than somebody younger. He conveyed his attitude towards her through giving her barley as a gift and promises to get an answer to her request as soon as possible. All right, so spreading your garment may seem like it was a sexual request to have sex with me, but in this case here, no. No matter what the intent of Naomi was to seduce this man, I actually don't believe that Naomi wanted her to have sex with the man either, but she knew what the man desires. You can't just go there looking like some homeless girl. This Boaz, he's used to the top of the top, so you got to clean yourself up. But you got to a way to a man's heart is not through his stomach, y'all always say. I can go down into the restaurant and get something to eat. The way to my heart is not my stomach. That's heartburn a lot of times. The way to my heart is where the heart is hiding behind. It's a cage. And what's that cage? What's in front of the cage? It's called the chest. And where is the chest? When we point to a man's ego, we point not to his stomach. We point to his chest. So the way to a man's heart is his ego. You understand? And this is why the woman next door gets your man and you lose him. All right? Get the book. Talk about it here. Girl, Phoebe lost her man. Phoebe lost her man. Okay? A lot of times the woman loses the man because she stopped analyzing the man's chest and going right to his stomach and his penile area. Come on, Rhonda, the cleanup woman. Rhonda was cutting up too today. Rhonda was cutting up on the Facebook wall today. I have to meet these people. I have to meet, and when I see y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the biggest. Oh, we're gonna be dapping for about 3 days straight. daps. Y'all, when black folks get together, boy, we dap for about 3 hours. Y'all be coming up all kind of hand signs. That's the handshake in church. Handshake for 30 minutes handshakes. I'm going to be dapping y'all. Daps. Because she was cutting up. That's it, Ruth. Pitts. Pitts, I call you Ruth. But thank you. There it is. God knew her heart. Yes. Come on, y'all preaching. That's right. The way to a man's heart is not his stomach. No, it's heartburn. Did not my heart burn? And in this culture, she had to marry someone in the family when she became. Yes, that's it. That was the law. Now, she tried to do that, and Boaz, being an upright man, he realized that, wait a minute, there's somebody that's a closer kinship than I am to you. I've got to make a deal. I'll be back. Righteousness. Naomi knew in her heart that she had to make sure that Ruth was taken care of because she was getting older. Yes, she wanted her line to continue. Yes, that's good. He was a businessman, not necessarily seeking for a wife. Yes, he didn't need another wife. He really didn't need one. She needed that kinsman redeemer. You understand? So you gotta know. So y'all, I can't find a man. I've been single for a long time, and blah 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 blah. Well, you might be one of those persons that's in the part of the collateral of the damage, or you could be somebody who just decides that you're not gonna be in certain areas. You're just not gonna be in certain areas. So these are where the men are, and I ain't talking about the parties and the places where the smoking houses and all. I ain't talking about that. There's a lot of good men in all kind of places. Okay. But there's this There's this a fear in you. There's a man in your church right now. There's a man on your job right now. There's a man in your surroundings, in your circles you don't want to talk to. You can't talk to because you're ashamed or you're afraid or you're sensitive or whatever, and you don't walk around with a handkerchief. Now I'm using handkerchiefs as just a symbolically an example, because I'm old school, so if I see a handkerchief drop, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. And I'll pick it up and hand it back to you. Say, all right, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm not. I just not today. Okay, but you got to be seen. Ruth was seen. Men are visual creatures. That's why they always end up with trophy wives. Yeah, beautiful outward, but empty on the inside. Trophies are meant to. Ooh, Harvest, you dropped that bomb. I love that she wouldn't go for a little boy who couldn't provide. But, yeah, come on, Rhonda. Come on. Rhonda, you're still cutting up. I'm going to need you to go to bed because you've been cutting up for 12 hours straight. And I'm gonna need you and Pitts to go to bed, especially Deatrice. Deatrice, get under the cover. And then take the cover and you and the cover go under the bed. Because you need to be on timeout for about a week straight. Y'all listen. Did you learn anything today? You got any questions? I went to the dentist today and I'm biting my tongue. And it's hurting me. That's why I'm talking funny sometimes. I'm biting it because they numbed me like crazy. they've been filling in cavities and cleaning this and doing all this stuff. Like, again, I ain't gonna be some of y'all's ages and having to take my teeth and putting on the drawer so that my son Amir, my grandson, go there and start playing with my teethuses. I want all my teethuses. But I'm biting myself because that stuff is not too long wearing off, and I can't really. I'm biting my blood gonna start gushing down in a minute. If a woman finds a 60-year-old who stutters, well, Joe Hill, you in Vegas, so you know it was supposed to stay there. It's about that time. I was gonna say something about the hanky, but y'all ain't ready. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Joan. Yeah, Rhonda. Yeah, it's just so many of y'all was acting up today. Joan, you should have been over there on my Facebook wall today. Michelle Carter, I know you don't do the Facebook thing, but your sisters in the Lord, they was cutting up. Something fierce. And then Amber comes along later on. She comes on later on and just put the icing on the cake, and it starts all over again. Walking around toothless doesn't. Lord have mercy. Yeah. It was like, Mr. Jones, we can fix your teeth. We can put that Invisalign in there, and we can move those teeth. I said, yes. I talk to people every day, and I need my teethuses to work on my behalf. I don't have to always look cute. I just want to be able to eat my food and enjoy it. I don't care about what people say about my teethuses. I do care, but I ain't doing it for y'all. She said, "Oh, we can clean all that. We can push your teeth together, push them in." I said, "Cool, do it tomorrow." She said, I mean, I was joking, but I said, "Do it tomorrow. Have it fixed by tomorrow." She said, "Okay, that'll be $5,000, please." I said, "Let me talk this over. Let me talk this over with David Weaver." Let me call David Weaver. "Hey, David, can I get 5,000?" I was not in the situation. I told Joe here I love him, and I was out. And your being out started it all over. Y'all go to the mouth post. Go under Joe Hill and go on. It was quiet for a while. Amber shows up and says, "I love you" to Joe Hill, and then the Rat Pack came back and started it all over again. And who was the Alvin Carter came, and it was a mess. It was. We all need to repent. I'm sorry. So if a guy following a comment on Facebook everything you do. Oh, thank you for that, Michelle. I knew it was somebody I forgot. So is the interest or stalking? Yes. I want to answer Michelle. I want to answer Joe, and then I'll shut it down, y'all. Okay. Michelle Smith. Now that this answer does not apply to all men who do this, because when I want to find out who a woman is who asked me for a friend request, I look through her pictures and her posts to see who she is. I just don't let anybody become my Facebook friend. Okay, when the younger days of Facebook, yes, everybody was coming in. So I hit 5,000. That was it. You couldn't go no higher. So I had to delete people. I have another several thousand who are followers on Facebook. So you got the friends. You have the friends. Then you have the followers. Then you have the friend requests. Well, I have several hundred in the friend requests. I'm almost maxed. I always try to keep it below 5,000 so I can get people to come in. And then I have all these. So if I get a friend request from a young lady who I don't know, I do this to the brothers as well, but I'm talking about the opposite sex since you asked a question about the opposite sex. I'll look at their posts, and if I see that they always scantily dressed, if their comments are not lining up to as close as holiness as possible, okay, because some of y'all don't think I'm holy because the way I comment, the way I post stuff to stir y'all up. My superintendent said that to me the other day. He said, "Listen, I know what you're doing when you post the way you do. You make people upset, but you're doing that to make them think." I said, "Superintendent, you caught that, didn't you?" He said, "Yes. Me and my wife, we caught it." We know what you're doing. All right. So I look and find out how they're posting. And if I see that they are too worldly for me, I won't let them in. You understand? Okay. So if someone is constantly seem like they're stalking your post, the only person who would know their intent is the person who's doing it. No one can really answer the intent of a man who's liking all your posts, okay, and commenting on everything that you say. They're the first one to comment when you post. We don't know the intent of that person. We don't. It seems like a person is stalking you when they do that, yes, but that's not always the case, and only that person will know. All right. If it's a man, it's a peculiar way of doing that. I wouldn't do that. If I'm interested in you, I wouldn't be doing that. Blessings to you, nurse. Good night to you. I would be in your inbox. If I'm interested in you, I would be in your inbox, and I would subtly, over time, not right away, I would subtly, over time. Yeah, you see, that's what I said. She says every time, the first one. Yeah, all right. So that's somebody who's possibly interested in you, but don't know how to tell you that they're interested in you. And depending on how long the time has gone, that will determine whether this person is scared, they're just frightened, they don't know how. So their way of letting you know that I'm interested in you is to comment every time as quick as I can. It's the little boy that I talk about. I keep bringing up this book, y'all, all right? I keep saying that there's a little boy in all men. That little boy pops up when he's interested in you. And again, I ask y'all the question again. When a little boy is liked the girl at the school, what did he do? Can y'all tell me? Put it in the comment section. When a little boy likes the girl, what did the little boy do? Yeah, 6 months. He's shy. If he like you, he's shy. And he's probably waiting on you to make the proper response. What's the proper response? We don't know. We don't know what the proper response. Men look, yes, that's it. Y'all got the answer. He hits her. They don't have to be a Christian or religious. Yes, but not. Yeah, I let a lot of atheists are my Facebook friends. But I know a lot of nice atheists. They don't cuss. They don't do all that stuff. They don't. Yeah, he hits her. If he likes her, he punches her, he beats her, he pulls her hair, all these things. And she's a little girl, so she don't understand that he likes her. So she gets upset, and and she hit him back or go tell a teacher or something like that. So there's a little boy in men. All men got a little boy in them, and we want to get your attention. And so what do? We play footsies with you to try to get you to respond a certain way, so that you could take the conversation to maybe to a private area, which is the inbox. And it's been that long, and somebody need to initiate something. If the interest is there, if your interest is there, I would be in the inbox, say, hey, how you doing? Tell me more about yourself. After 6 months, shoot. I know your pastor wouldn't tell you to do that, but I would. I tell you, go in the inbox. Hey, I don't be talking about something. I know you the first one to comment. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because he ain't commenting anymore. Once you realize the game, brothers, run. Don't ever, ladies. If you like a brother, don't tell him about the game. Don't tell him you know the game. Don't do it. Let the game play out. Y'all better hear me. I'm sorry for the question that took you off. That's all right. God is watching. Somebody got educated. The Lord gave you that question, and somebody got the answer. Look at the couple comments. They got the answer because of you. That's why the boys and I always fight in class. Or, yeah, yep. Yeah, play the game. Play the game. Yep. Okay. Joe Hill said something about sex, the sexuality of Christians. He is absolutely correct. You should be the most fulfilled of anybody. All right. Again, you may be too deep for this particular section as well. But you who are married and you are believers should have the greatest sex in the world. I don't understand how these first ladies are miserable. Many of them are miserable. I've heard from them. They've called me. I'm miserable. And many of them are going out on their husbands. Who's the pastor? Why? Miserable. The man is caught up. He's married to the church. And the church belongs to Christ. That's Christ's bride. And the pastor thinks he's married to the church, and he's got a wife who is being left to herself. And I mentioned 1 Corinthians chapter 7 of do benevolence. So the man gets so holy. Sometimes the women, the wife gets too holy. So she wants to go on fasts, and she wants to go on prayer meetings and revivals and retreats and like that, and leave the man at home. Okay. And Paul says, don't do this. You need to come together. You could ask each other for permission. Your body don't belong to you. You got to give it to the man got to give it to you, and you got to talk about this stuff. You go on your little retreats, but it needs to be a short period of time, he says, because the tempter is coming. And you can't just take your body all over the world. Bring it back home. So Joe Hill is right. It may be a little overly seductive, salacious for some of y'all when Joe Hill talks like that, but he is correct. You should have the greatest sex life in the world. If you are believers, enjoy it. It's a gift from God. And that whole bed undefiled, now we're talking. Religion and not relationship leads to being, fidgety. Yeah. Boy named Michael did that to me every day until I hit him on Saturday. That happened to me. Was that you, Harvest Noah? Because that happened to me. It happened to me. I hit a girl, and she hauled off. She had a book bag, and she hauled off and hit me in the head. Pow! All her encyclopedias was in that book bag that day. Them books was that thick, and I think I had a brain aneurysm or something for about a week straight. Okay. All right. So y'all, if you're married, get all the sex you can, because Sister Boaz. She wants your man, and she can smell that he ain't getting it from you. In the spirit realm, she can smell he ain't getting it. And she gonna get it because she knows that the way to a man's heart is what? I gotta go. We can do part 2 at another time if you like. Go there, L. Jones. The husband's body belongs to the wife. Yes. We gotta stop being so deep. We have no complaint. Joyce. I have got to meet this man. Our women who leave their man for a holiness retreat need a good. See what I'm saying? See, Joe is every family, every church got a Joe Hill who tells it. He says things you want to say, but you can't say it. You can say it here though, or I'll say it for you. Book bag concussion. I've been married 32 years. Wow. And we both keeps the fight. Ooh, Elder. And I see your wife, right? Is that your wife there? I'm sure it is. There she is. Go ahead, Elder. Lord have mercy. I like them kind of testimonies. I liked it to them. Gayla. I'm sorry. I call you Gayla. Gail Green. Blessings. Yes, absolutely. You seen stars. Yeah. Mary J. all night long. Yeah. All right. So I know it can cause some of y'all to be shamefaced because we talk about sex. But who gonna talk about it? Your churches are dry. They can't talk about it. Well, I can get some of it because it's mixed audience. But somebody need to talk about it because your homes are miserable. Those beds are just sitting there and there's nothing on those beds other than who's that? What's that project? I thought the project was cute. Satin sheets don't slide, and your lady, a lover, your lord, or something like that. Who was that? T.D. Jakes came out with that love song project. It was great songs on there. It was a bold move, and you know it wasn't the first. It wasn't the first project like that. Nicholas and Nicholas came out with a project like that for married couples who are saved. Okay, so we had a few of that, but T.D. Jakes came out with that with an all-star cast, okay, of singers and what have you, and they were great songs. The problem with the project is I didn't want to hear, and I was married when the project came out, so I can say this. I didn't want to hear T.D. Jakes talking in my bedroom. I can hear Luther. I can hear Anita Baker. And I can hear I so in love with you. I can hear all these cats. I could not. I just, the wife said, put T.D. Jakes on. No. I can't. You trying to douse a fire? Yeah, he did. He sure did. Manly. Fred Hammond had a love song album. Sure did. Was it Song to My Father's, My Uncle, or something like that? My nephew Lawrence would know. Because my nephew Lawrence was. He wrote one of the songs or played. I believe he wrote one of the songs. I can't stand them gospel love songs. Yeah. Al Green, yeah. I know that's right. Instant repellent. Yeah. Get ready. Wait, bro. Can't let. That's my job to say that, not yours. I don't want to hear you in my bedroom. Okay. I can't. I can't. Put on the OJs. Please. I'll listen to Lionel Richie. All right. I'll hear him say that. You're my love, you're my soul, you're my inspiration. Yeah, I want to hear Lionel. His voice is a little more sweeter and more palatable. I don't want to hear my pastor in the room talking about some get ready. Nope. Satin sheets don't slide. No, bro. No, I see you Sunday. This is between me and the missus. Tell Lionel we're waiting on him. And most women just love to bring home what the pastor yeah, that sounds like incestuous to hear your prayer. Barry White, come on, Gail. Yeah. You just keep telling me this. Yeah. My everything, I want to hear him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are millions of real love songs. Millions. Oh my God. Come on, Isaac Hayes. I stand accused. I gotta go, y'all, because y'all done started it back up. And Joanne, I want to go because you still win the prize for the craziest of all times today. Let's talk tomorrow, okay? All right? If you want to. If not, hey, I could do something else with my life. That's what Bishop Jakes got it wrong, because I want to hear Luther, Smokey, OJ's, Frankie. Woo, Frankie Beverly. Whoa, whoa. You make me happy. Come on, Frankie. Frankie got to be, 105? And he's still popping babies all over America. Put some Frankie on. Wait a minute. You 19 years old. I know. Put some Frankie on. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I got an hour break. We can keep going. I don't have a break. I'm about to break and go upstairs and get something to eat. Rebecca ain't home, so I may have to go. I may have to go next door and get a sandwich. Don't make. I can't, man. Y'all. I'm laughing out loud at work. Anthony, listen, Anthony, I don't know how long you've been here, but these people in here are crazy. I don't know where these people come from. I just started the show, and the freaks came out at night. Good night, y'all. Hit the share button or subscribe if you feel like it, but you might not want to share this show if you don't want to be acquainted with Sirwalterj Jones. Your pastor might sanction y'all for being acquainted with me. Okay? I love y'all. Get the book. Lola is out on Amazon.com. Just type in Sirwalterj Jones, and both of the books are there. Get it. Let's talk about it later on, okay? All right. Peace in the valley. In the valley? Where's that? Where's the valley? I don't even know where the valley is. It's somewhere in America.
Well, goodbye. 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 Enjoy yourself. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Well, goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Girl A. Sex is her superpower. This woman got skills, but adds no value to him. Girl B. Her brains and beauty is her birthright. She's his eye candy and his arm piece. Girl C. She's his mama, his teacher, his better half, his soulmate, and the apple of his eye. Girl D. She's dangerously desperate. She's his thin line between love and hate, and his fatal attraction. All that and more in the 7-volume book series, The Men's Chronicles, A Woman's Guide to Men by Sirwalterj Jones. Volume 1 is entitled The 4 Women That Men Desire. Go to Amazon.com today for your copy.